So yes, as you all have seen, I went and saw Twilight Eclipse earlier. However, I have a bit of an excuse. I had a very cute, attractive girl go with me. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Allison. I'm the cute, attractive girl.
Yes. Some of you may know her from the Florida videos I posted earlier this month. And the reason she came with me is because she is a fan of Twilight. Now, here's the thing I want to differentiate with her. She is an intelligent Twilight fan.
I know the difference between a vampire that sparkles and, I don't know, every other vampire.
Oh, I know. Now, so here's the thing. When I decided to review this movie, the first person I turned to was Allison, because she actually hated the last film, right?
Oh, it was awful. I could not wait to get out. I walked out of the theater saying, really? That was it?
My thing is, up until this recent film, which I hadn't seen as of tonight, that I hated this series. Now, I still do. I still hate this series. However, I wanted to go in with someone who's going to be unbiased, because obviously I'm going to hate this film pretty much no matter what. However, I felt as though Allison could shed a little bit better light on this. So, now that we've seen it, Allison, what is your take on the movie?
I would describe it as similar to Harry Potter 6. Did a lot of setup. However, if you didn't read the books, it was very gappy. There was no sense of time, just like in New Moon and in Twilight, the original one. There was no sense of time.
I agree with you. As far as what I felt about this movie, I think I've told you before. The way I see this film is that if someone held a gun to my head and told me, pick one of the three to watch again, I'd pick this one. At least there's fights. At least there's impact on people's lives in here, where in the previous two, it's just stupid drama between Edward, Bella, and Jacob.
They got a lot right, but not in one coherent thought. That's basically how I felt the movie.
Yeah. And one of my things was that all these flashbacks they keep having of everyone, they keep telling some people's backstories, which was fine, except that they were rushed. Yeah, you know, they were really rushed, and they're just like, okay, oh, by the way, we're gonna explain some of these side characters now, finally, and we're gonna give them each like a minute segment, and that'll be it. And I was like, does that really give anyone justice? No.
No.
You know,
Jasper's story was so much more interesting. He was a general. He met Maria, and then he was with Maria for a long time, and her two friends, and then the two friends turned on Maria.
And yet, in the movie, they give it about a minute's worth of time.
Well, it was just skimmed the surface. I mean, It was seriously in the book. It was about a 10-minute blurb. Yeah.
I'm going to bring this up because not many of my viewers know this, but the director of this movie is David Slade. And I was telling you this. He directed one of my favorite all-time vampire movies, which is 30 Days a Night.
Ugh,
now, I know you're not a fan of that, but it is one of my personal favorite vampire movies. He also directed Hard Candy, which I don't know if you've seen, one of Ellen Page's first movies. Brutal movie, but a very good movie. Okay.
Very weird, and demented. But it did have a good flow to it.
Yes, I agree.
I did enjoy it.
So I enjoy David Slade as a director. I think that him directing this movie actually did it a little bit of good. In the previous couple movies, the action scenes were terribly edited, terribly cut, terribly shot, and you don't get a sense of what's going on in them.
That's true.
Yet in this, they actually pan back a bit. You can see what's going on. You can see who's fighting who. And while sadly there's no blood in them, which pissed me off. It's
for teeny rappers. You have to remember the target audience.
I agree. But again, this is a PG-13 movie. They can put some in. As soon as I saw that fight scene, you know what I thought of? I thought of the fight scenes from Chronicles of Narnia. The big epic battles. You know what I'm talking about? Chronicles of Narnia is a PG movie. Okay? So they can't put in blood. Yet they have these massive battles where people are dying everywhere, but there's no blood. And I felt the same way in this. These people are tearing each other apart, yet there's not one drop of blood. It's a PG-13 movie. People can bleed. And the only time you see blood in this movie is when Bella cuts herself.
I agree.
Okay, and I'm like, what an emo statement. The only time people bleed is when you cut yourself. You know, it's like that's nice.
You didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, think about it like that. Yeah. Now, that aside, 2/3 of this movie is still Edward and Bella staring into each other's face. Okay? Yeah. And it's still stupid, petty drama. And as you know, I was almost closing my eyes parts of the time. And you caught me. You're like, no, Mike, don't fall asleep. You know.
You were like starting to lean forward, like, get me the heck out of here.
I was almost giving up. I can't watch those parts of the movie. Okay, now when the action picked back up and actually stuff started happening, I was mildly entertained.
I don't think it was a terrible movie, but it just doesn't make the cut.
It doesn't make the cut for you. Okay.
I have standards, you know, like.
Well, so do I, and any Twilight movie is far below my standards. Yeah. But even that being said, I still friggin' hated Bella. I mean, and I was telling you, like towards the end of the movie, there's this line where she has just made out with the one guy, Jacob. She turns around, Edward knows it, and he says, "You love him, don't you?" And she says,
"I love you more, though."
I love you more. You f***ing bitch! You know, are you kidding me? You little teasing whore! You're gonna sit there, you're making out with both these guys, and you're supposed to be the role model for hundreds of millions of girls in America? Like, yeah. No! No! You cannot do this, okay? And despite what people will say, Bella Swan is now a role model for little girls.
I hope
Because little girls are...
We are in trouble.
Oh, I know. Little girls are modeling their lives after Bella Swan. It's scary. I know, Allison, I know. It's a scary thought. But in 20 years' time, we're going to have hundreds of little girls who are just going out to college and are just teasing boys left and right. This is the point in my review where I give my final rating. Again, I can never, ever enjoy a Twilight movie. For 2/3 of the movie, I was bored out of my mind, and it felt like, they were boring a screw into my left temple slowly. It was so painful. However, for the other parts where stuff is actually happening, what a concept, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. I will give this as an unbiased review as I can, but I'm still totally biased. I'm going to give this 2 stars. It's not good, but you know what? Guys, if your girlfriends are ever going to drag you to a movie, if you had to pick one, pick this. That's all I can really say. Allison, what would you give this?
Probably give it about the same ranking. I guess I give it 2.5 because it definitely had some good points in the parts of the movie that definitely made me like, oh yeah, that's how I thought it would go down, because that's how it was really in the book.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I enjoyed reading the books.
Yeah.
I know I'm a little old for books, but that's okay.
That's fine. Read what you want.
Right. They were entertaining.
Okay. And the other thing I want to bring up is, are you looking forward to the 4th movie, or do you think that...
You mean the 4th and the 5th movie? Because the last movie is a 2-parter.
Okay, now I did not know that.
Oh, Mr. Projectionist did not realize it's a 2-parter.
Oh, God,
He has to see 2 more Twilight movies.
Alright, now I'm going to make this deal with Allison right now.
Uh-oh.
If there's 2 more movies that I have to friggin' sit through, she's coming with me. Alright?
Alright,
Will you make me that deal?
I'll go.
So, I guess next time I'll have to drag her to Predators or something.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, there we go.
We'll see the previews. We'll see if it's interesting enough for me.
Okay. I see Twilight Eclipse with Allison, and she'll see something brutal and terrible with me.
Oh, but not too bloody. I don't like all the blood.
But you saw Kick-Ass with me. Kick-Ass was bloody as hell.
Close my eyes at those parts.
No. Okay. Well, I want to thank Allison for helping me review Twilight Eclipse. As painful as it was, I want to thank you for coming with me. When does this next movie come out? November, December? I know they're releasing them quickly.
I wanted to say January, actually.
In January?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it was about a 6-month turnaround.
Well, if Allison promises to see this movie with me, I can promise you guys I will review the next film, as painful as it may be. Alright? So...
I'll get you drunk.
Oh, she'll get me drunk. Okay, I'll do it then. I'll do
drive.
that. Okay, that'll work fine. All right, well, thank you again, Allison.
You're very welcome.
And if any of you have seen this, I pray you guys haven't, but if any of you have seen this movie, post your comments down below. I'll talk to you all later, and take care.